1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ignition.
Explain the unexplained.
We smell like happy.
Close your eyes.
Where we boldly ask, do vegetarians eat animal crackers?
What?
I need more space. Caffeine will not make you shut up.
Breathing the air.
Because the llamas told me to do it.
Save the planet.
Second pick of the 2014 NFL Draft. The Cleveland Browns select Johnny Manziel.
This song will automatically shut down the system.
Hey, could we please get a courtesy flush?
Let's get this over with.
Warning! The following sound may damage your speakers.
Alright, hello Ghost fans, hunters, and skeptics. Today is March 23rd, 2017, and today is also OK Day. OK is perhaps one of the most versatile words in the English language, though these days it's been adopted into many other languages worldwide. Thank you, American media. It's an interjection and a verb, and it can be used to indicate approval or acceptance, while as an adjective to refer to something that is mediocre or average, like Coca-Cola is okay, anime is okay. It can also be used as a discourse maker, and it links and organizes written or spoken communication. And this is also a day to bring awareness to the fact that there is only one true, honest way to spell the word okay, and it's not okay, and it's not like O.K, it is O-K-A-Y. Spell it phonetically. Anyways, I am your okay host, Raven, and with me is usually sometimes Tom, but because he is in a currently not super amazing state right now, he can't be here today to have fun, because he's really self-conscious about this neck brace he has to have on because he can't stop getting himself injured because he's an old man. Well, anyways, though, we do have a great show planned for you tonight, as we do every show. But before we begin, I just want to do a quick format of our show, because we're not your normal paranormal show, and this also eats up some time because we do have a lot of long-time listeners who know that we start exactly at 9 o'clock, and they don't show up until about 15 minutes after we get started. So it is our goal at the Skeptic Sanctum to take you, the paranormal fans, the ghost hunters, the supernatural skeptics, and others on a humorous yet informational ride through the paranormal genre. We are 25% facts, 25% fun, 25% various Pepsi products, and 25% stuff we make up as we go along. And since the word okay has actually been around since the 1800s, we at the Skeptic Sanctum always give you, the ghost fans, the supernatural skeptics, the paranormal pundits, the ectoplasm collectors, and whoever else, 18% of pure paranormal education, entertainment, and fun. But now for our guest. He is a paranormal investigator, but just not any normal paranormal investigator. What makes him different than all the others, you might ask? Especially if you don't know anything about paranormal investigators and you think Zach Baggins is the only paranormal investigator there is, man, we've got a show for you. Our guest, he is actually in a wheelchair, and that was because at the age of 11 months old, he contracted an ear infection, and it spread to his spinal column and left him paralyzed in his lower extremities. This condition has not slowed him down, and I know this from eyewitness accounts and my own, and it has forced him to develop creative alternatives, and throughout his life, he has never let anything stop him or prevent him from achieving his goals. Often considered a rolling trigger object, he uses his unique position to his advantage when investigating. So I am just extremely honored to introduce, he's an idol of mine, and he's also a friend of the Skeptic Sanctum, Adam Glider Bonnett. Say
Hey,
something. You're here.
how's it going?
Oh, it's going really good. How about you?
Good. So far, so good.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So, it's really great to have you on the show tonight. God, what have you been up to recently? I think in August we had you, chill out with us for almost an hour at the booth, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it was in August, I believe so. That was a
Yeah.
pretty fun time.
That was. I mean, we had that one dude show up and he was telling
Yeah,
that really scary story about the bathroom.
yeah. I tried to forget about that one, but yeah,
Yeah, same here.
he was pretty cool though.
Yeah, he
He
was.
he's very outgoing.
If outgoing is the word we're going to use for the man with his haunted bathroom story,
Yeah.
I'll support it. I will support that.
Or maybe I should say it was okay.
How do you spell the word okay?
OKAY.
That
Okay?
is the best way to spell the word okay.
I think in his situation though it was just okay.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. His is just that
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good way to explain that one.
I mean, good mental image would then be the boss from Anger Management.
Right.
Him saying the word okay.
Yes. I completely forgot about that guy. That was funny.
I remember him. I don't want
Yeah,
to.
Yeah. That was a fun time though.
Yeah, it really was. So, other than, hanging out with obscure radio podcast shows, at conventions, what all have you been up to recently?
Oh, just trying to, mainly schedule the year out, trying to find events and things, trying to plan some investigations, just trying to keep busy and try to find stuff to pursue.
Have you gone on any, super big investigations since Hillview?
Um, I cannot remember when I went, but I went to Old South Pittsburgh Hospital and investigated it. Um, uh,
To those who've never heard of that place, what's that place like?
it's actually, it is it's like to me, it's more of a modernized hospital than what I'm used to. Um, it was closed down, and it's actually really, I would suggest for, if anyone to go to it, it's pretty amazing. Um, there's a lot of areas in the hospital that has a fear factor to it.
That's always good for investigating because
Yes.
then you're there trying to get the spirits to interact with you, and then you're there, you're
Mhm.
just Man, what if one of the spirits like scratches me?
Right?
I mean,
Yep.
you'll be fine if you get scratched by a ghost, but you're still like, I don't want it touching me.
That's true. But I mean, it's pretty neat. The way that it's set up and everything is, you have areas of, um, the surgical areas, things like that, patient rooms. Um, a lot of it's, you can turn the lights out at night and things, and it's pretty dark inside. So it's pretty cool to that aspect. Um, it's just we heard some voices, we heard noises, things like that. So it was actually a pretty neat place. I
Now,
really enjoyed that.
you say making it in the dark. Now this is like this is a heated debate I find with a
Hmm.
lot of people. Do ghosts only come out in the dark?
I don't believe so. No.
Then why do we always investigate only at night?
My opinion is it's more of a fear factor type situation. Um, I've investigated places in the dark or in the daylight, and I've had evidence both. I've seen things in the daylight as much as I've seen in the dark. Um, I think it's, I think just as much happens in the day as it does the night.
Yeah, I'm under that too. I think the thing is, I know for like some locations, they're near busy roadways that are less busy at
Mm,
night. But then you go to like some places which are just like out in the middle of nowhere, and you can only investigate starting at 10 p.m. until
yeah,
4 a.m. and you're just like, no one ever goes out here. Why do
yeah.
I have to be out here at night? I'm scared, so I'm gonna like assume things are evidence when they're not evidence.
Hmm. Yep, I agree. I mean, I don't know. I've just seen things during the day that's, a lot of, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of these private residentials, things like that, or, residential cases, um, a lot of the people see things during the day itself. So, you
Yeah.
know,
So I mean, would you prefer if more locations had like daytime hours for investigating though?
um, I, I think it would be pretty cool. Um, I've actually thought about, doing investigations during the day at places, to come upon the same thing that we're speaking of, if, you know, how can I explain this? I think it would be pretty cool to investigate places during the day just as well as at night, just to see the relevance of it because I believe, things do happen during the day. So, but if the option was there, yeah, it would be really cool.
Yeah. I the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, why don't we do that? I mean, because
Right.
if places only investigate at night, and let's say the place in question has no electricity, except through like
Hmm.
through small portions, and it's just like it's so easier to then hide, for the location to hide evidence, not hide evidence, but hide evidence of tampering.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I mean it is really it's like yeah, open up your place during the day a few times if this is all you do.
Right. Plus, also, your eyes can play tricks, during the night.
Mhm.
Um, Even if you let your eyes adjust to the darkness, things like that, you still have the factor that your eyes is going to play tricks somehow on you. You know.
Yeah, that an actual I think a good example of that would then because most people know about the nurses station hallway at Hillview for example.
Hmm.
And every time I've been there and every time at night I always see shadow figures at the one end of the hallway.
Hmm.
And because like we don't really you can't have a quiet investigation during the daytime there, it's kind of hard to completely figure out is it really shadow figures or am I crazy and just seeing things?
Right. And that's kind of another cool feature of whenever I investigated Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. You know, I can't remember the time frame that we was there. Maybe it was like 20 hours, something like that. But you have you have the option to investigate at night, and then it goes into the next day. Um, so you have the option to investigate during the day also. So that was pretty cool.
That is actually really cool. A lot of places. I don't think there's any place that does that.
Yeah, it was really neat because then exactly what we was talking about. You can investigate during the day, see if there's anything different, significance, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is a really sweet deal. And that's all they do then is they just do investigations. And that keeps the place upkept and everything.
As far as I know, that's I don't know a lot about the way they do their investigations, but that's the deal that we got then. I'm pretty sure it's the typical things like so I can't remember the hours of it, but they went from the evening throughout the night into the next day itself. So
Um, so, another question then, ghosts during the day and all that kind of stuff. What's, your, like, your only, yeah, your favorite way to, like, do an investigation? Because I know some people, they change up how they investigate if they're doing it during the day or not, because most investigators I know, they're only prepared for nighttime investigation. So, like, how do you handle then the nighttime? I mean, the daytime, because one, you don't need all 8,000 of those flashlights.
right, yeah. Um, it's I'm more of a I like using experiences, senses, sounds, vision, sight, stuff like that. Um, so even at nighttime, I'll use a recorder or things like that to try to catch EVPs. Um, Still goes into effect during the day, but during the day, let's say for example, at nighttime, you could have a ball roll for you. Well, a lot of people will focus their eyes on that ball. And an example of your vision that could mess with you. I've always learned to take a flashlight and set it down behind the ball. That way it shows a reflection on the wall itself. And then you could see the ball moving that way through the reflection. Um, Daytime wise, you have the clear visual aspect of it, so you can actually see it a lot better. Um, you know, Seeing doors open, shut, whatever, things like that also.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, I do notice things more just during the day, even at home.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, it is really interesting, and I think more places should open up for daytime investigations.
That'd be pretty cool. I definitely think that would be something neat.
And it would open up more for, newbie investigators who are afraid and
Mm-hmm.
would like to check out an environment.
Yeah, definitely.
What is it, Dad? Tom is afraid.
Oh,
That's why we haven't been investigating a lot recently, is because he's afraid.
eh,
Oh, you get one herniated disc and your whole life is over.
mm,
Big old embarrassing cone of shame and everything. It's no wonder he doesn't show up on the camera. I don't blame him. I wouldn't either.
cone of shame.
Yes. Don't the doctors didn't want him scratching himself. Um so you were speaking about the kind of evidence you use the recorder and all that. What has been like the best kind of evidence? Like, you didn't send me anything
No.
for me to share, so you're gonna have to go into like explicit detail.
Yeah, most of the things I generally, as like I was saying earlier, I go off a lot of personal experiences, vision, sounds. Um, some of the, I've caught things on voice recorders, but it's just I'm the kind that I hate to go through 6 8 hours of video or audio. Um, that's kind of the weird thing. I mean, I'll
Oh,
do it, but
yeah. Now, like, I don't mean to, like, upsell a product or anything, but, um,
mm,
what we have and what we use is these, they're really expensive, but they're studio style, recorders.
mhm,
And, you can actually listen to a lot of electronic recorders with headphones, but these ones have, like, a three-dimensional, like, sound system, left and right entry and all that, too.
yeah,
And, when we started using those, it really changed the whole investigation experience. I mean, we're still not getting evidence every investigation we do.
mhm,
However, it has made EVPs a lot more tolerable because we can record in spurts.
right,
And we've been going through, once we started those, evidence has been a breeze to go through because we're
yeah,
listening to the recording in real time. So
nice,
so then, if we're not getting anything up to a certain point, we can just delete that after we recorded it and continue going because you can have the sensitivity set up so loud that you can hear like a pin drop all the way across the building and
oh
still
well,
record it.
it's pretty cool,
Yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of I want to say overstimulating because it's just like you hear everything. You hear your own breathing. If you hold it too close to your chest, within a couple of like, I want to say like 2 inches, you can
hmm
hear your own heartbeat, and
it's
you're
pretty
like,
cool.
"What is that sound? It's hideous."
Yeah, that's another thing I've learned to kind of do whenever I do voice recordings and things is I've learned and I've used this tactic is whenever I ask questions, I only use it, to ask the questions, give it a time limit, and then playback. Um, I just got out of the habit of running a voice recorder for so long. It's just I figure, that little bit of time, if you got something to say, you know.
Yeah.
So
No, like the few EVPs that we all got have actually been pretty instant, and they have been none of those like question and answer kind of EVPs. It's
hmm
been, we've been talking and recording at the same time amongst ourselves, and then we get the EVP.
yeah,
It's like the ghosts that are possibly there because we are skeptics.
yeah,
They want to be in on the conversation too.
hmm
Because I mean, you think about it, a bunch of weirdos come into your haunted location and they start asking you weird questions like, "Hey, who's the president? What year is
yeah,
this? Do you know you're
yeah,
dead?"
right,
And I would, if people I didn't know came into my house and started asking me questions, the first thing I would do is probably try to figure out where we hide the guns.
yeah, true,
And so it's like, whenever we were hanging out at the Farnham house, I was doing I was doing the podcast, so we streamed almost the whole night live as much as possible, and the fun thing for me was just hanging out there because it's a really comfortable building, and I felt like we actually had a lot of experiences happening. I was completely exhausted though, so I really didn't get to enjoy it as much as I wanted to, and I
hmm
can't wait to go back. And but we got a lot of activity, things that have like switch, like those candles that have the switches and stuff on the bottom
yeah,
of them. Um, those turned off on their own in a
wow,
room that we were facing,
huh, it's pretty
and
cool.
lights that had been turned off upstairs were turned back on, and this was after everybody left. And
pretty neat.
oh yeah, I mean it was pretty crazy.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
yeah, and so, with all of that, we weren't actively looking for anything to happen.
That's pretty neat stuff, though.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely unique.
All right, well, let's see. Oh, yay, people showed up. Awesome. Let's see. We have somebody that yeah, Melanie. She said that, yeah, she loves her real-time digital recorder. And yeah, those have been a blessing. So, yeah, if you've not gotten yourself into one of those, Adam, I really think you should check it out.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look into it for sure.
The one that we use, the really, really pricey one, it's a Zoom
Yeah.
recorder. But they do have a cheaper one now. Yeah, it is okay. Yeah, it is the cheaper one now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still kind of pricey.
What was it again?
Zoom recorder.
Cool. I'll have to check that out.
Definitely. So but I have noticed like a lack of physical evidence. Like you don't do video recordings or take pictures.
I used to, but I just kind of got out of it. I've caught a lot of what looked like to be shadows, things like that, in the pictures. Video wise, no. I want to get into that though. I want to start. I want to start trying to make videos of my investigations. Make a YouTube channel for it, things like that. I
Well,
think it would be pretty cool.
whenever you get started, let me know. I don't mind helping you set up with that. And I
Awesome.
mean, you actually, you do have a great thing that you can set up with your
Hmm.
situation. Being in the
Yeah.
wheelchair, you can set up a camera rig on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like sometimes I'll take my GoPro and I have a mount and I'll stick the GoPro on my chair, and that's I figure that would be pretty awesome to get some video like that. If I could just mount that, get a door to open for me or something,
Yeah.
that would be pretty awesome.
Well, that kind of stuff, the doors opening for you, those actually happen all the time, don't they?
I've had it happen quite a few times, yes.
And
That's some
that's
that's
why everyone
something.
calls you the trigger object.
Yep, rolling trigger object. Yep, it's kind of it's a pun type thing, but it's actually a legitimate type situation because a lot of the places that I investigate, um, this is something new I'm going to try to get into also, is a lot of the places I investigate, most of the patients or situations in those places can relate to myself. I'm in a wheelchair. A lot of these patients were probably in wheelchairs. Um, so any investigation I do, I try to go into it approaching it that way. If I can relate to a spirit, I'm going to use myself to try to get evidence. So that's what's kind of neat. I've used a situation where I went into a place, I've asked for a door to open up. I can't open up the door. Would you please open the door for me? you know um, I'm having a hard time fitting through this door. Could you please help me open the door? um, I've actually had doors to move before. So if I can get evidence to that way, or use myself in that situation to get more evidence, I'm going to do it. So far it's worked out pretty well.
Oh, my mom, Becky, she showed up just now, and
Hmm.
she wants to know if you've actually ever been to the Bell Nursing Home.
No, I have not.
He is not, Mom. Yes, she'd like to have you stay on after the show. We have a special limited time offer.
Okay, cool dude.
and it concerns the Bell Nursing Home, and that's actually a really favorite location of ours. And if you've not been there, I think you're gonna fall in love with it. Cause like you're saying, the one location you went to was like super modern. The
Yeah.
Bell Nursing Home is kind of modern, but I don't really. It's not super modern. Like it was built a long time ago, and they just kind of added stuff onto it as the years go by.
That sounds pretty cool then.
And it's up for sale right now.
Oh,
But it's I mean it's like yeah it was a working hospital for a short period of time, wasn't it? And a funeral home and a mansion.
oh wow. It's got all kind of history then.
Oh yeah. And it's actually they have I think a lot of historical documents actually in the building, so you can read all of them.
It's pretty neat.
Oh yeah. And
Has the history to back up anything, so the evidence wise and stuff.
yeah, and like they do know about like every urban legend that has like came out of the place. And the best part about that is like they're like, well, we heard about this kind of abuse, but we can't really prove it because they would talk about like in this time area, this nurse worked here and she apparently let somebody die, but then they go back and because there's some of these people that used to work there are still alive. And, they managed to track a few of them down, and they were like, yeah, that never happened.
I think it was shut down in the 70s?
No, just recently, in, like, the last 10 years.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was shut down in, like, the last 10 years. Mother dearest, Melanie says hello. Melanie
I say hello. Which Melanie is it?
Vincent.
Oh, tell her hello. Tell Laura hello. Give her a hug and a kiss.
Becky says hello, and she would like you to give Laura a hug and a kiss. But yeah, stay on after the show, Adam, because we've got a limited time offer just for you.
All right.
But speaking of like modern locations and just locations in general, and I'm looking at the time because I want to make sure because you said you actually have a bunch of events coming up this year.
Yeah, I got quite a few so far. Well, a few of them, yeah.
So you gotta tell me then what you have going on.
Alrighty.
Because you're here. This is like self-promotion central.
Awesome. Well, I have at the end of this month, the end of March, from the 31st to April 2nd, in York, PA, I have a Phenom Family Reunion. It's going to be just a big gathering from the Phenomicon the previous years. They're going to have some speakers there, a bunch of vendors, things like that there. Kind of your, event going on there. They're going to have myself, Chris Dedman, Eric Altman. There's going to be quite a few people there that's going to be speaking. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one. That one should be pretty fun. It's actually the first event that I have this year, so it's going to be a good start. And then I'm pretty excited also. I have another one coming up in May. I believe the dates, let me see.
Is it the one you sent me the flyer for?
Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah, the May 19th and 20th.
Yes. It's going to be a pretty good one. It's at St. Albans Sanatorium in Radford, Virginia. It's got to me, it's a pretty epic lineup. They got Joe Chen from Ghost Hunters International is going to be there. Myself, Christopher St. Booth is going to be there. It's a pretty good event going on. It's going to be the event itself, and then I believe there's an investigation with all of us there. So if you want to never investigated St. Albans, that'd be a perfect chance to come down and investigate it with people. Joe Chen, he's a pretty awesome guy itself. Uh, so it should be really interesting, pretty fun event.
It's actually really sad as I'm looking at these names and I think you're the only name I know. So I'm like, I don't mean that as an insult, but
Thanks.
I don't mean it as an insult towards those
Oh
people.
yeah.
But it's just like, it's different locations. It's actually rather remarkable how you can go 50
Right.
miles in any direction and
Yeah.
not know any of the paranormal teams.
Yeah.
That's you go first. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say, like Joe Chen, he was on the Ghost Hunters International show for a while with taps and everything. So I've worked with him a few times whenever he's did investigations. He's actually a really cool, down to earth guy. So he's very very outgoing. He's a good fella.
Good fella. Yeah, I do like that. That's one of my favorite terminologies for people is like, you're a good feller.
Yeah.
But it is rather interesting though how you just the amount of I guess the lack of connection with the paranormal community. Because like I said, you go 50 miles in any direction where there's civilization, and you're going to meet paranormal teams that you've never heard of, no matter how much networking you've done. And
right, yeah, that's true.
It's like, I'm all for a group or some kind of setup where like a club, and so you have this big club of paranormal investigators, but the problem is setting up a organization like that. And this has happened before, and it happens not just with with ghost hunting. It happens with Bigfoot hunters, UFO enthusiasts, book clubs. You always get that that group that really has that big drive and lots of advertisement, and then you pay them all this money and then they run away.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and they list themselves as a non-profit, so you don't know how much money they're actually making. And like, and I would, if I had the drive for it, I would be the person that would actually set up without demanding a whole lot of money. But then you get the people going, well, why don't we make keychains? So you start making keychains, and the keychains really sell. But it's just, I wish that we had more connection in the paranormal community, because I think that would stop either would stop or escalate the whole, are they orbs of dust or orbs of ghosts?
Yeah.
And since I brought that up, what do you think about orbs?
Well, I've seen a lot of dust pictures. I've seen a lot of bug pictures.
Borgs.
Yeah. And, my opinion of orbs is if I don't visually see the light or something with my eyes, I'm a pretty good skeptic of orbs itself. It's just my opinion, but I've seen some in pictures that are hard to explain. But there's way too many. What's the word? There's way too many things that could be orbs. What? What's your opinion of orbs?
That actually, it is a rather difficult topic, but going in as a skeptic,
yes.
I have to say I am very quick to discredit them, but only after I take a really good look at them, because you open them up, you open up the image. Let's say we open it up in photo imaging software, and you zoom in on the orb in question. you actually might be able to make out what the orb is made out of.
Yeah.
If it's got like a not a fleshy tint to it, that's actually more for dust. That is actually like hair cells from people, pet dander. If it's a little bit more pink, that's like human skin cell, but it's not pink because of the human skin cell. It's like the bacteria in the skin. And and it just kind of like goes on, like the different colors will actually tell you the kind of dust it is. The more brown it is, the more closer it is related to not poop, Tom. God. It's related to just like, I mean, if you've ever looked at a microscopic enlargement of dust,
A poop orb.
it's not
Orb.
no, Tom, go to the other room.
Could be a fart orb.
There are no fart orbs. We are a classy syndicated network television show. We can't say poop on air.
Poop.
Tom! Becky! God, guys, I'm so embarrassing. This is why I don't have friends. I'm like, they're looking at me now and they're going, man, can't wait till we get her out of the house.
Poop.
But, oh my god. So, for the most part, I will disregard, as Melanie says here in the chat on the YouTube chat, is, I'll basically disregard orbs. A few of them are pretty wild looking though. And I've seen, our team has taken 2 of them, or witnessed 2 of them. One is my mom. She took a picture at the Rogers house in Roger, Ohio, that has been since torn down, and the picture that she took, the so-called orb, was like had a trail around it, and it was weaving in between a group of people, and like you could see where it would disappear behind one person and show back up on the other side. And at the moment she took the picture, everybody who had their K2 meters on because this was during the tour of the house, all the K2 meters started going crazy. So that's why she took the picture.
Yeah.
And then another orb, and this is Tom's favorite orb. I refuse to admit that it's anything but a bug, but he thinks it's a fairy or something. We got this at Posttown Elementary School in Posttown, Ohio. And that's also a good location. Have you been there yet?
I have not been there.
You'll really love that one.
Chris Maggard liked it.
Yeah,
Nice.
Chris Maggard liked it.
He did.
He did, yes.
Yeah, he came back and said, I can't debunk it.
Yeah, Chris Maggard showed up, and he couldn't debunk it, and he likes debunking things.
And Steve Fisher was the one that got that.
Steve Fisher, and I think he's on next week. Is that who I talked to? I have the worst memory of all, but I almost died this week, so I'm allowed to have bad memory. Yeah, he will be on next week. Wait, no, not Steve Fisher. See, this is why I shouldn't be allowed to be in charge of things. Why does this keep happening to me? And then, like, and all my stuff is all hidden because, yeah, it is Steve Fisher we have on next week, because my birthday happened and everyone was sending me birthday pictures, and stuff, so all my credentials for the show are all hidden behind birthday messages.
Nice.
Yeah, it is kind of nice. It made me feel warm and loved. I don't get enough love at home. Neither of these people who, in the local area here in the paranormal groups, they're considered pretty big skeptics when it comes to orbs. Neither of them can actually pinpoint what it is, and they both know the location. In Posttown, Ohio, if you ever get to go, and I really think you should, that location doesn't have bugs, because the gentleman that runs it, Daryl, he keeps it very clean, and he upkeeps it himself, and he fixes holes, he makes sure bugs don't get in. So, you go there might be a little bit of dust, but he keeps the place pretty clean, so it didn't set off Tom's asthma. And I didn't have asthma yet then, so I didn't have to worry about any of that until recently. But So whenever we were watching these security cameras up, this pink thing with legs floats across the screen. And, oop. That exploded my internet. Okay. There we go. We should be back now. Okay, this pink thing with legs floats across the security the security screen,
Mm-hmm.
and it vanishes. And so, right after it vanishes, all the dudes that can get upstairs really fast, they all, because that's where the camera was at, they all ran upstairs really fast to go find the bug, because they were like, "That's a big bug."
Yeah.
They couldn't find the bug. And if it was a pink bug, it would have had, the moth would have had, if they found it, I believe would have had to been to get that. It would have to. I think it would have to have been blue.
Yeah.
And they don't make blue moths. Not
Right.
the kind of shade
That's... Yeah. Yeah.
And so those are the only two orbs I have to say that are possibly something paranormal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's... I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on them. That's... It's a lot of people will argue, but I'm kind of iffy on them myself.
Yes. Now, you just sent me the message about the official Facebook page, and I completely lost your official Facebook page.
Oh. I can put it in the chat if you would like.
If you put it in, I think I don't know. I think I might actually have links turned off. I'll run it into Google real quick. So, but while I'm doing that, and doing research in the middle of the show, that's really professional, Raven. So you have these two events coming up. Do you have any big investigations planned?
I have none planned as of right now. I'm wanting to get, I want to find some. I need to start investigating. That's the thing. I want to get back up to Moundsville. I'd like to go up there. I want to get back to Hillview Manor. I'd really like to get back to Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. I think that would be a really cool trip again. Let me think. I know there's a few other ones that I would, want to get done. But actually, right now, I'm just trying to get these couple events out of the way. And then, I want to start doing some investigations, get some evidence, start getting some video, things like that.
I found your page.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Awesome.
And I will go ahead and I'll set that up underneath your website.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So, and it's really good that you have investigations coming up. I really wasn't paying that much attention because I was trying to find the Facebook page. So I'm not gonna lie, but
so I could have got away with anything there, huh?
Yeah, you could have said anything, and I would have not noticed.
Yeah, I also have another event that I want to mention is in August. I'm doing an event for multiple sclerosis. It's kind of like a fundraiser. It's going to take place at Prospect Place on August 19th. So it's just kind of a get together, and they're going to have speakers and things like that, vendors. It's to raise money for multiple sclerosis and things. So.
Hey, Mom, where's Prospect Place from here?
I don't know, but that's the thing
It's
having.
Oh, it is the thing that. Oh, so you're working with Goose
yeah,
on
exactly.
that? Awesome.
Yep, Goose. Yep. I will be there. Are you all coming?
I don't know if we're coming or not. It's really all up to my mom. Because she's got this thing going on.
Yeah.
We're actually not really able to travel too far away from Cleveland.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And so it's really putting a dampering on our showmanship and all of that.
Yeah.
But they're actually
You can go without me.
we could go without her. Yes. But there's actually a lot of stuff in Cleveland, a lot of places that you really can't get into unless you seduce the guard at the door.
Yeah.
But Tom refuses to do that.
It's gonna have to do something.
Yeah. He's gotta start pulling his own weight here around the team. He's been, using his name on the Skeptic Sanctum platform for a month now and has not been on camera. Actually, it might be a little bit longer than that because he didn't want to be on the show while he was hurting.
Let's see here. When was the last time it was in August?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, he was on the show then, because he didn't herniate his disc doing whatever until February. So yeah, it's gonna be it's almost been exactly 2 months. Tom's just a dead weight on the show, and I think I'm gonna have to cut him, cut his pay, and.
A couple weeks we didn't have a show.
And he goes, a couple weeks we didn't have a show. That really matters anymore.
Yeah, somebody went to Wisconsin.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Somebody from Wisconsin?
I took a vacation out to Wisconsin, and see, here's the thing is, they like having their names on the show, but none of them know how to run anything.
Leaves it up to you.
Yeah.
Tech monkey.
The tech monkey.
He's like the first guest I have not gotten for the show. So I don't want to hear about it.
Look, I'm really happy that I have guests on the show. And it is really nice to have you on, Adam. I tell people when I talk about you, I'm just this man is my idol. Because, you're going and doing all this stuff, and but you're you're in a wheelchair, and that's not but that doesn't define you.
Right. Yeah, that's like we've talked before, that's another reason I do it, is to let anyone else know that it's possible. That's the thing, is I'm very outgoing, I'm very adventurous. A lot of people unfortunately give up, and that's the thing. I'm not like that. So
yeah. And it's just the fact, I think, for a normal person too, you do a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And no, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just agreeing.
I mean, yeah, you just got a lot of you got a lot of what is this old term that nobody uses anymore, but it's a favorite word of mine, moxie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a good word. But and that's just really awesome in general, because I mean, a lot of people don't have the same oomph that you've got.
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately,
Now you do motivational speaking and everything too. Is that something that you talk about as well?
What was that again?
You do a lot of motivational speaking.
Yeah.
It is how you keep yourself up and going, something that you do talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's ranges, if you're meaning are you wondering about what I speak about? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, generally it's, I talk about a lot of stuff. I'm very outspoken at times. I like to talk about, I'll speak about my life growing up. I'll speak about things that, what happened to me, what put me in my wheelchair. That's the thing. Nothing has really slowed me down. I was raised up to, not see myself in the chair. So I've always kept that positivity and, just went from there. Um, I've done a lot of things, I speak about a lot of things that I've done, a lot of things that I try to do. I set a goal and generally I accomplish it somehow, you know. So, and then this, I go from that into speaking about my investigations, speaking about my experiences, and then where I created my little ghost, I got him copyrighted and everything, and I use him as my logo.
Yeah, I got him
So,
right here.
Yep.
With the
So
checkout.
I just go from that, and I just try to, my main objective in speaking, is to raise awareness that anything's possible. I want to be, if I can be that one person that somebody looks at and is like, hey, that's, pretty awesome. If he can do it, I can do it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I strive off of. So.
Now, from our exchange at Hillview and everything, you kind of know the kind of humor that Tom and I have.
Yeah.
And so, where I was, recently diagnosed with asthma, I use it as an excuse to not do things. They're like, hey, Raven, can you look at this real quick? And I'm like, I can't. I have asthma.
Right.
Do you pull those? I mean, I guess, just you just use your situation to be shit sometimes.
Not really too much. I guess because, I don't know. I don't know. I just never did.
And now it's something to think about.
Well, I was trying to think of an example of what that would be. I guess it would kind of be like trying to go up a hill and just stopping and be like, I can't make it.
Why not? What's wrong with you?
and then wait on the next guy with the electric scooter to come up and then grab a hold of the back of it or something. I don't know. So I don't know. That would be kind of interesting. I always said I was going to take and wheeling around town or something. If a car drives by, I'm just going to grab a hold of the back of it. But my luck, it'd pull my arms off.
Yeah, it probably would. That wouldn't be very comfortable.
No.
I know, it's just for us, dealing with situations, we're always making jokes.
Yeah. I mean, I make a lot of, jokes or, when I'm speaking, that's the weirdest thing whenever I'm speaking or whenever I get invited to speak is, I'll be up there and you can look out and see the people and 3/4 of them are serious people, they don't have a smile on their face or anything. They're afraid to ask questions. And so the type of person I am if I can't make pun or a joke of something,
Yeah, I mean,
I gotta do something. And then they, I make a joke or something and they look at me like, oh my gosh, did he just say that?
Oh my God,
and then I'm
just
like,
insulted himself.
Right. Yeah. And then some of my friends are like worse than I am. So, there's situations to where I have to take and, watch what I say sometimes. But, that's one thing I always try to make sure that people know that I'm joking, to break the ice situation and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and it's good that you can make jokes about it, and that you have friends that still love you even though they're worse than you about it. Because
Right.
I'm not against the whole political correctness movement.
Yeah.
Because some people are really stressed out about their situations.
Yeah.
And it actually, this is the most amazing thing on the planet. It actually costs $0 to not be rude.
Right.
And I'm pretty good with people. I'm pretty good at knowing how far not to push the envelope.
Right.
And I'm getting like both Tom and Becky have like collectively tilted their heads up, and I think they were thinking about smart-ass things to say when I said that. But for the most part, I think I'm pretty good. And so it's so it's actually, I understand though why, you get those people that are like, oh, I can't believe he offended
Right.
himself.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's like, if you can't laugh at yourself and encourage people to see, this is how comfortable we're going or whatnot, and then the just being terrified that you're going to insult somebody. I mean, if you're terrified that you're going to insult or upset somebody, maybe you got to rethink yourself.
Right. Yep. I agree. That's true.
And I think I'm like, I'm draining out on questions. We got your upcoming investigations coming up.
Yep.
I said I wasn't gonna make being in the wheelchair part of the show, but I did anyways because I really wanted to know how,
it's all good.
Yeah, I really need to know, how much of a shit you can be with the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Just, I remember I was on crutches for about a week, and that's when I was still like working on my sense of humor because I was like a teenager, and unless you're like an Adonis of humor, you don't know your humor levels yet.
Mm-hmm.
And looking back, there are so many jokes I could have made back then, like, "Hey Raven, do you want to watch a movie?" And they'd be flashing a DVD, and I'd be like, "I can't. I'm on crutches."
Yeah.
"Hey, dinner's ready." "I'm not hungry. I'm on crutches."
Bring it to me. I can't come to it.
But now they're just like, "Hey, Raven, have you finally watched Stranger Things yet?" And I keep going, "No, because I have asthma." And and I know Tom, because it's been a few years now for him. I know he's really jealous that he didn't think of this first, and now he's starting to steal my joke, and soon it won't be as funny. But you are allowed to take my joke system, and you can use it, and I won't get upset.
Awesome. I'm gonna use the asthma. I'm gonna be like, I can't speak right now. I got asthma.
No. See, it gets funnier when you apply it to things that have nothing to do with the thing.
Oh,
You're
gotcha.
like, I can't read this right now. I have asthma.
Right. I'll have to try that, see if it works. Get pulled over. I can't give you my license. I have asthma.
Hey, you know what? It might work.
It might.
It just might, especially if the cop has like a good sense of humor.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I might pass on that one. I don't know. It's pretty risky.
Yeah. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think I'm finally out of questions. Is there anything you'd like to promote? Any shout outs you'd like to do or anything? Before we wrap up here?
Just if anyone wants to check out my stuff, my webpage is there. I generally keep it up to date with my events. My Facebook page, if you want to give it a like, that would be awesome. It's just the facebook.com/glidergh. That's the thing. If just check out my stuff, and hopefully I will see some people at events. It'd be awesome to meet people that way.
Yeah.
So definitely.
If
you ever see me at an event or anything, just come up and start talking. I'll make all kind of jokes.
Mom, don't take his wheelchair. We have your mother's wheelchair in the storage unit.
Mine's probably, I don't know. That's the thing. This is one of the coolest tricks I ever did was I was at Actually, I was at HillCon. I don't know if it was last year or the year before last. And one of my friends was with me, and she decided that she wanted to roll my wheel.
Uh-oh.
All of a sudden, my chair disappeared, and she was down rolling around Hillview. And the weirdest thing was the people that was in the same room as me came back in and noticed I was sitting in a chair and not in a wheelchair, you know? So they was like scratching their heads trying to figure out what was going on. So then a little bit later, she rolls back in a wheelchair and stands up, gets out of it. So, so that was pretty odd.
Well, see, you know what you do is your friends, they walk in and see you in the chair, and you go, I can walk again, but I can't right now because I have asthma.
That's a good one. I'll have to try that one.
I don't know if I want the two of you in the same room.
That's a pretty good one.
I'd show you, I just can't right now because I have asthma.
Right? That's a good one.
Now, actually, I think I might be misremembering things, but didn't your lady get pregnant and have a baby?
No, that was my friend.
Oh, how's that baby doing?
Oh, he's good.
Good.
He's growing up.
Awesome.
That's
Babies
for sure.
Are cute.
Yep. Yeah, that was my friend that was there last year.
Yes. That's why I was
Yep.
like, I couldn't remember. I was like, is that
Yeah,
his girl?
No, no, that's just one of my friends.
Oh,
So yeah,
congratulations for that.
she's actually the one that stole my chair. So
She is pregnant.
yeah.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. All right. So I think I'm finally out of questions and points.
Alrighty.
All right. So thank you everybody for who tuned in today. Again, this was our guest Adam Glider Bonnett, and I'm really proud of myself for not messing up his last name because I keep saying in my head, I don't know why, but my head keeps reading it Bonnett.
Bonnett.
Yeah, I don't know why. And it's also, I think it's partially because the way Tom spelled your name on the calendar, and like he didn't. I mean, it doesn't. It's not that he spelled it wrong. It's just like he writes in cursive, and so it actually looks like Boret, and with R's in there, and
Nice.
yeah, because he just he can't.
He writes like an accountant.
Yeah, he writes like an accountant.
Nice.
And Melanie says
Because he has asthma.
Yeah, because he has asthma. Now, Melanie, she is with another paranormal team, and she needs to spell it out for me because I have really bad memory because I have asthma. But she has a show that RIP is hosting at the Conneaut. Have you been to the Conneaut yet?
I have not. Nope.
That is another location, and that's actually more in your neck of the woods. It's closer to PA than Cleveland.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is in PA.
Mhm.
And it's a really nice area, little backwoodsy to get to. But when the con that we were there at last year, the first day was surprisingly, amazingly busy.
Awesome.
And the people that came in, they bought everything that they could.
Nice.
Yeah, so some people like completely like this one lady, she bought some things and like I think like she sold out of all the good stuff immediately. So yeah, you definitely need to check it out. I completely forget the day it is, but if you've not hooked up with Melanie Vincent, I can get you set up with her.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because I think not only that, but they do the owner there does like secretly encourages people to check out the building if you're into ghost hunting, and they have an elevator that goes to the top floor.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it still goes to the top floor. I might be remembering it wrong because I was kind of drunk because Friday night they do karaoke.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be definitely neat.
And they actually have like this. I don't know if it's a bandit any longer, but they do have a theme park and everything that usually isn't on and open or anything yet, and you can like walk through it.
That's pretty cool.
And like all the rides and everything, they're all boarded up and like paint's chipping and everything looks really creepy.
It's kind of like the I forget the name of it, but there's a amusement park here in West Virginia that's like that. It's shut down and everything. I forget the name of it, Lake Shawnee or something.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat.
Every tiny lake up in this like, you know, this tri-state area over here has an abandoned amusement park. Except for Sandusky.
Gotcha.
All right. Anyways, I think I'm going to stop throttling the viewers. Oh, wait, it's going to be April 8th and 9th.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, yeah, so I'll hook you up with her, or she can hook up with you. Melanie, go to his Facebook page and hook up with him.
Yeah,
and because he seems really interested.
And he needs to stay on the line so that.
Yeah, well, yeah. He knows he needs to stay on the line. So yeah. So So good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This was the Skeptic Sanctum. This is actually our third live YouTube show, I believe. Or was it? Oh yeah, it is our third live YouTube show. So
you forgot because of asthma.
I forgot because of asthma. Well, no, like because Tom had his herniated disc episode. We had to cancel 1 week, and that also gave me more time to get everything set up for this because I had to make like the video intro and all this other stuff to get everything ready and look like I know a little bit of what I'm doing. I really don't. So yeah, but yes. Good night, everybody. I do have a link to his Facebook page in to his actual website in the information box for the show, and I will go ahead and add his Facebook there before it ends. So then, if you come back and check out the video after YouTube re-uploads it, you will be able to check it out there too. So, good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Again, this is Raven with, awesome guest, Adam Bonnett.
Thank y'all.
Yes. Good night, everybody.